Never heard of him.
Later today, former Ukraine envoy Kurt Volker and former NSCA Timothy Morrison will testify. This is ABC News. An airline trade organization is anticipating the busiest U.S. travel day ever coming up.
The organization Airlines for America is anticipating 31.6 million passengers to board U.S. air carriers worldwide over the 12-day Thanksgiving travel period. That's up 3.7% from last year. A4A forecasts December 1st, the Sunday after Thanksgiving, as the busiest travel day ever for the U.S. airline industry, with 3.1 million passengers expected. U.S. airlines are expected to add 859 more flights per day compared to last year. Brian Burrow, ABC News.
The White House says an American who is one of 2 hostages released by the Taliban is receiving medical care and preparing to return to the U.S. Both men were professors from the American University of Afghanistan. Special police in Germany raided the apartment of a Syrian man authorities describe as a radical Islamist. They say the 26-year-old who was arrested was planning an attack in Germany. Will Carr, ABC News.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents and Doug.
Limu, I love how we're always looking out for each other. Kind of like how Liberty Mutual looks out for you by customizing your home insurance. So you only pay for what you need. Limu, why didn't you tell me about the uncovered manhole? I was literally just telling you. Limu, I had no idea you could swim.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Ordering online? Just click, and your purchase appears at your doorstep. But the vehicles that move your order, trucks, jets, and ships, create a lot of greenhouse gas emissions. That's why ExxonMobil and Synthetic Genomics are developing algae biofuels that can reduce emissions from all those trucks, jets, and ships by half. The upshot? A future where your deliveries are just as convenient and greener. Learn more at energyfactor.com.
K-How News Time, 103.
The Aurora City Council is considering a change to the neighborhood picketing laws. Comes after a September protest in a neighborhood in the Southlands area. Demonstrators were marching against the warden of the local ICE facility who lives there. Some neighbors were clearly annoyed.
It's American right to protest, but I don't think they should do it in a public neighborhood. They want to do it at the ICE facility, that's fine. They have that right. Well, apparently they have the right to do it here.
Some of the changes include making it illegal to march back and forth at the front of somebody's house. It's coming up for discussion on December 2nd.
Doesn't happen that often, I don't think, but I can see how it would be annoying.
Food distribution plant is on strike. Teamsters Local 455 called that job action on Sunday night to protest new rules on delivery and production at Sysco Foods. About 350 union members walked off the job. Sysco used non-union supervisors to deliver orders yesterday. And in sports, the Avs on the road tonight in Calgary to face the Flames. That's the latest. I'm Chad Hoffman.
Now, Impact Traffic. This report is sponsored by EnviroTest.
Extremely quiet drive around the metro area right now, so you shouldn't have any problem getting wherever you might be headed. No stalls, accidents, or other big delays on any of the highways.
After you, who's the best radio show host to work with?
Off freeway, some construction.
What's that, sir?
After you, who's the best radio show?
Now, do you mean for an endorsement?
For growing my business.
Because a lot of people, this is the sad truth, a lot of people do that. It's working so well with me that they just want to expand.
Right.
Doesn't just work that way.
I understand. I know
you, and I'm not saying I'm the only one. I'm not saying that at all. But for what you do, where else are you going to go? I mean, you're not going to go on sports. I mean, in other words, I can't tell you how many times people have come with me as an endorsement, then moved on to other with me, but added, and they don't need it. I can do your spots anywhere you want them. I can do them, and you don't have to pay me another dime.
You can advertise at other radio stations?
Yes, iHeart and beyond.
So if I want, okay, so
I can do
if
TV
I want more,
for you.
If I want more business, then I can continue to have Tom promoting me, and you are recognized
elsewhere,
other radio stations as well.
Yeah, now I'm not saying you have to, okay?
No.
And there is some value to personal endorsements if it was something else. If you weren't doing estate law, if you were doing,
but with what you do, no, this fits. How can I get on TV? Can Hiram help me with that? Talk to him about that.
Yes. Now, at some point, you need someone looking out for your interests when it comes to buying TV and radio, because I'm just going to tell you something. If you talk to a sales rep, TV or radio, okay, they're going to sell you what? The strongest parts of the day? No. Why? Because they have people lined up for that. And they have people they already have in there. But now they have to make budget. Okay, but all the hot stuff's sold. So what do they make budget with? The bad stuff. I mean, in agencies, where do they go? Well, when stations have bad stuff to sell, what do? They increase the commissions, saying, look, we need to get this sold. So what are they selling? The bad stuff. I'm not saying all of them, but I'm saying a good part of the time, the stuff people are pushing is not the good stuff. The good stuff sells. It's the bad stuff. So you need someone who doesn't look at that. You need someone who says what's good for you, not for the station, not for the salesperson. Hi, Tom Martino here, helping you every day of your life by solving problems, answering questions, and taking complaints. Let's talk and find out what is on your mind. All you have to do is call 303-713-TALK. This sounds pretty serious from Charles. A warning about some kind of iPhone scam. What's going on, Charles? Really? No, it's not true. It's a fake Facebook, I think. Yeah, and the way they make those links, sometimes you don't even see the URL, so you don't know you're going to a phony Facebook page. And did you go and fill out your password? Oh, they called you about this. Was a phone call. Well, hold on. When you called, where did you call? You called Apple support first? Off the alert. Phony. Yeah. Yes, that's right. What did he want you to get? Okay. What he wanted to do is get a gift card that you could pay him with. Anyway, you didn't fall for this, right? That's the bottom line. You didn't. Good. Oh, that is so good. I am so happy for that. No, I'm glad you're warning us, but here's the bottom line. Any kind of email, alert, text, phone call that says that you need to correct a situation, I don't mind anybody giving you information, even if they're lying to you, except don't ever fall for you entering usernames and passwords ever. No company will ever call you and ask you to enter a username or password. And you should never use a link ever for usernames and passwords. If you want to go to Amazon, you go to Amazon.com or what you know to be the true URL. Do not use any convoluted URL. Now this gets technical. Most people, when they hit a link, they don't know if it's an accurate, good link or not. Now, this is important. Do not be phished. Daff, I'm done with line 2. Yiji, is it Yiji? Is that your name?
Yeji.
Let's just talk and see what's going on. What's going on, Yeji?
So in August, my husband got his oil changed by Grease Monkey and Greeley, and apparently they maybe hand tightened the oil
The plug?
drain plug.
Now, how long ago was it?
That was in August.
Okay, and so what
It
happened?
was the end of August, I believe. And so the drain plug ended up falling out, and the oil drained out, ended up ruining the engine.
Well, see, a whole bunch has to happen first. This is a problem, and let me explain this to you. If it was done in August and all the oil drains out, before the engine would seize, there would be all kinds of warnings. It doesn't just seize. So, how long did it take from the time he left that place for it to run out of oil? Did the engine get ruined a week later, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later? How long?
No, it was about a month and a half later. But when we spoke with our mechanics, they said that they think that it was hand tightened and not ratcheted, and that's why it didn't fall out right away, because they said it doesn't just fall out, that they see that happen.
Did they say that it slowly leaked out over a month and a half, or after a month and a half it all leaked out at once?
After a month and a half that the plug actually fell out.
Okay.
And then that's when the oil came out.
Now, here's the problem. When that happened, he would have gotten a warning.
I don't know. I mean, so when I was the one driving it, and
did you get a warning?
I told my husband because, the light came on, and I was trying to pull over the oil light.
After the light came, hold on. If all the oil came out while you were driving, the light would definitely come on. How long did you wait before pulling over?
As soon as I could, because I was in the middle of traffic.
Well, you know what?
I was just trying to get to the side of the road.
The data port's going to tell us exactly how long you drove after that light. So there's no way nowadays with technology, unless it's an older car, there's no way to lie about it. So in other words, if you drove, Dan?
2003.
It's a 2003 car?
3 or 2,
2002.
Right? How many miles on it?
209,000.
How many?
209,000.
209. What kind of car is it?
Nissan Xterra.
Okay. Let me explain something. Even if they were 100% wrong and you had no warning, they would owe you hardly anything, because engines have a lifespan and they would only have to replace it with a like engine. In other words, even if, I don't want to go through this whole thing, because first of all, I think you're going to find it impossible to make the argument that you pulled over quick and you didn't pull over quick enough, because there's no reason not to. You said, and I know I'm not going to get it out of you, because I know that when we're under stress, we don't think accurately, and you might think it was right away, but your data port's going to tell us the oil light went on. If you drove 5 miles, you went too long. If you waited.
No, so I was right. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Fort Collins at all, but we were on Timberline and Prospect, and I pulled off right into the gas station right
good.
there.
Okay.
And so ended up having it towed.
What? All right.
We had it towed. We brought it to the shop. And then once we ended up getting it to the Nissan shop, they said that the engine was
here's
ruined.
the bad. Now, there's bad news and there's good news. What I'm saying to you is this, that there's two things you have to do with a loss. You have to prove it was related. We know it was related. There's no doubt. However, we also have to prove that you tried to mitigate your losses, which, by the way, you can do by saying, as soon as the light came on, I pulled right over. So now you tackled that. So here's the other part. The other part is hard, and that's the one where you have to accept, and I'm just going to tell between you and me, even though that's not what you're calling about, they would have to pay you hardly anything. If you said an engine, no matter how well you take care of it, it's not going to last but 250,000. If your engine was 90% gone, now this is not what I would tell them if I called them to argue for you. I won't tell them that, but I'm telling you this, that let's say a replacement engine on this, a new engine, is how much? Do you know?
Yeah, they said to either rebuild it, replace it, or repair it, it was between $6,100 to $8,100 is what Nissan
is 6,000
when they
is 6.
when they
did you say 6?
6 to 8,000 is what the Nissan dealership told us.
Now
when they
you
told us
know,
that the engine was ruined.
and I think you do know this. Let's just say they're 100% at fault. Let's just say they are. You know in your heart, you know they wouldn't owe you $6,000, right? Or do you feel they would?
I do. And
okay, so wait a minute. So you feel
4 weeks later.
Listen, I'm trying to get across something. I want to help you get as much as possible. But between you and me, why would they owe you $6,000 for a rebuilt or new engine when you already had $200,000 on it?
Well, the replacement cost to end up getting the same vehicle again.
Yiji, they don't. I'm trying. This has nothing to do with their case. Let's just reason. If you right now, I swear to God, if you had an apple and you ate all of it except for one bite of that apple, and I knocked that apple out of your hand, that little piece that you had left, and it got in the dirt, would I owe you a whole apple?
I suppose not.
You would never, if you went to court, Blake, if she went to court, you know what betterment is, you know what injury is, you know what damages are. If she went to court with an engine with 200 some odd thousand miles on it, would they owe her a replacement vehicle or a replacement engine?
No, nothing more than the value of what you lost.
Exactly. There are no
windfalls.
There are no replacements guaranteed by law, nor are they awarded. Now, that doesn't mean I wouldn't want you to get it. That's the difference we have to make. I would like people to be made better, but they're not usually. They're usually not. Mm-hmm. Did you make an argument for the full 6,000?
I did, and I got 6,600.
No, you didn't.
Today.
Yeah, no, you didn't. You did. You got $6,600
by mentioning your name, Tom.
Well, hold on. No, yeah. You need to be an attorney. I just don't want everyone thinking they can do this. How the hell did you get $6,600?
I'm just patient, and I argued with them for the last 6 weeks. And
wait a minute. So you had an engine with 200,000 miles and got 6,600 miles. Who paid it?
Their insurance.
This is the most incredible call I've ever had. Their insurance paid it? This sounds like a not true story. What insurance company was it?
Zurich Insurance.
Okay, we got to make this clear. Usually this does not happen. And I don't know how it happened. I swear to you, I don't know how it happened. They will fight tooth and nail not to pay. Mm-hmm. They won't pay.
They did.
I know. They won't pay beyond what they lost. So what did they offer you at first?
$1,200.
Okay. I could see that. And what did you say? $1,200. Did you show them? What did you do?
Well, because the first thing we asked them to do was just repair the leak.
Right.
And they didn't want to do that. And so we went on to get additional estimates for the engine, and we talked about the replacement value. And
yeah, but replacement doesn't usually enter into it because you had an older vehicle to begin with. Listen, suffice
and they said, and so what they did was they ended up giving the actual cash value, and then loss of use.
Oh, they added to the actual cash value loss of use. Did you make that argument for loss of use?
Yeah.
You know, she's a genius. No, you're brilliant. She took a loss that had maybe a value of $1,200 and got $6,600 because of loss of use and other things. So I don't know what to say. I mean, that blows me away. What do you think, Dan?
Did you get to keep your car?
Did you keep your car?
No, they'll get the title to that.
Okay, so okay. All right, she sold the car to them. I want to analyze that part. I didn't know that part.
Weekdays 2 to 4.
Okay, that part. Okay. That's
a rental car point.
That's a little different. Yeah. That's a total different story. Thanks for asking that. Who do I have? Johnson? Oh.
But still.
Oh, that's right.
She got 6 grand out of them.
SimplyFloorsInc.com, long or short. That's what you need to do. Go on that website and make your appointment for an in-house sales job, because they come there and bring everything with them. Now, that doesn't mean a bad thing, a sales job. That means a good thing with Simply Floors, because you'll save 20, 30, 40%, and then an extra 5% because of the holidays and special rebates and financing for 2 years. That's SimplyFloorsInc.com. They're at 52nd and Ward, but you can have them come to your home by making your appointment at SimplyFloorsInc.com.
I can see why you're so thin with the
That is an incredible story.
It is. Well, that's good negotiating.
So Tom, who's this guy look like?
Uh-oh.
Oh, now you put me on the spot. You know what? I thought he looked familiar when you said that, but before you said that, when I first saw him...
No one's told you this? This guy asked if you were Guy
Ferrari's
dad.
I do get confused with Guy.
Guy Ferrari,
That's
not what
chef, restaurant.
Yes, yeah, there's a couple King Soupers,
yes, sir.
deli people that say.
What did I want to say?
Yeah, the hair with the...
Okay. Charlie had another question on the Airbnb thing. Just...
Well, I think they owe him something, but they don't owe him everything.
Well, which one?
Airbnb. He forgot the number.
But I do agree, though, there should be, that this must have happened before.
It can't be the first. Well, what's Tom's phrase? This is the first I've heard of it.
And I've never used Airbnb. But
I haven't either, but they have to have a mechanism, because...
You would think if
or a password.
And are they... I didn't hear, did they give a key, or just they were supposed to...
You know, it's amazing to me that woman got that. But
like
we found out something else.
You know, I don't know. Somehow he couldn't get access.
Right.
They called the owner.
Was it a key? Was it a key, though, or was it a...
Sounded like just a code for access.
Or maybe that could be it. It could have been a code.
No, one more thing. No, actually, ask her to come in as a common woman one time if she wants to.
Yeah, that's...
So Blake, what do you do to stay in shape? You just stand up at your desk? Is that...
Stand up on the desk, walk around, work out for a few minutes in the morning, but not a lot.
It looks like you should still be in high school. not an attorney.
I don't think you look quite that young.
Well,
maybe a few years out of college.
There you go, or at least the college man.
Graduated law school in 2002.
I don't even know who Rocky is.
A decade out.
Oh.
Wow.
Did you went to work with somebody? You didn't start out your own practice.
I did. I've worked for an estate planning law firm up in Boulder for a little while before my own firm, and for a little while now I worked for my dad's law firm back in Florida.
Okay. Was that good, or was that you just...
I learned a lot.
Oh, okay, but I know sometimes working with your relatives like that can be a little...
It was.
Stressful.
Well, the McDivitts can do it.
Let me tell you, Suzanne and Mark, their husband and wife, they work together. They do spectacular together.
Yeah, you should think of it. It doesn't work for everybody, but there are certain few that can...
My immediate family, we have about 8 attorneys. My dad, his wife, both my siblings, both of their spouses.
Oh, my God.
And myself.
What about that?
His whole family, practically.
My dad.
Oh, yeah, you
my
told
dad
me,
and his spouse, both of my siblings, both of their spouses, and me. So
didn't you have a judge in the family, I thought?
No judges.
Okay,
a bunch of litigators.
There was someone who had a judge in the family that we have, a young attorney.
So your siblings are litigators?
Yep.
You like to? Is that something you'd like to do?
I do the probate litigation, but I'm more on the planning side.
Gotcha.
I'm kind of the black sheep. I do more of the planning.
we get several lawyers that just don't litigate.
Yeah, I'm not turning it down. I'm not afraid to go to court. I mean, I like it.
Do you like it? I know it's a lot of work.
I like it. It's
What's a lot of work?
Litigation.
The prep part.
It's a lot of work. Think on your feet real quick.
David refuses. He never does litigation.
It's too big for estate planning attorneys to pass on it. I mean, it's a little bit more stressful than the planning, but it's a big opportunity. I think it's going to be growing bigger too.
I think it'd be fun, but I'd always second guessing myself afterwards if I'm wrong.
You know, but sure, yeah. And my biggest client this year I did not get a good result for it. And I second guess everything I did, but I really don't think I could have done it.
I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK.
But yeah, it's
713-8255. Okay, so DenverTrialLawyers.com, somebody just emailed me because they heard the commercials a lot and about these guys getting many millions of dollars in settlements. So I just wanted to mention them. They asked for that website again. You can't forget it, right? So easy, DenverTrialLawyers.com. And then the CBD products were not tested. Somebody emailed me and asked if they were tested on Channel 9. They did not get to Panacea Life Sciences, but if they had, they'll find a pharmaceutical lab located right here in Golden that has pharmaceutical-grade products, and they have unbelievable stuff, really good stuff, right down to the T. They have both THC and THC-free. You can order the stuff. It really works. It really, really works. Now, you notice I don't say it's the best or it's the only. Of all the products I tested, it's the only one that worked so far for me, the only one, and my friends and family agree I've been sharing with. But, you make that decision for yourself, but I am sold on this product. RealCBDThatWorks.com. RealCBDThatWorks.com. Griffin's got a comment on Grease Monkey. By the way, she is a hero of mine, man. Oh, my goodness. But she broke down how she got that much money. They actually bought the car from her. It wasn't exactly as, what I thought at first. It wasn't exactly like she got $6,600 to build the engine. In fact, she gave us a breakdown, and Daphne sent it to me. Here it is. The actual cash value of the vehicle is $45,370. That's about right. A car with 204,000 or 200,000 miles, that's right. That's a fair settlement. Then she added sales tax and city tax and all that tax, which came up to $318. Then she did the title fee of $7 and registration fee of $1. Honest to God, she got a total. This woman's a genius. She got a total of $48.63 and added to that loss of use while she was waiting for this settlement of $1,200. Then her tow payment and repairs that had to be done. This is $65,0495. Now that is genius negotiating. That is really wonderful. I knew it sounded crazy she would get $6,600 just for the engine and then keep the car, but this is just as good, if not better. What do you think, Blake? As an attorney, it's a pretty good deal, isn't it?
EG, can you send me a copy of your resume?
Yeah. Okay, now, Griffin, what's your comment on Grease Monkey?
Yeah, as like Frank Costanza would say, I got a lot of grievances with these people. So it's best of his time.
I love that.
Listen, Tom, this drives me absolutely crazy. As a tech, I have my own shop. I am sick and tired of these people saying, oh, well, I just take it to Grease Monkey. I just go to Jiffy. Those kids are idiots. They're hacks. They don't know what they're doing. They screw more cars up than they fix.
Wow.
I forgot more than they'll ever know. It's ridiculous. They don't check the cabin filter. They don't check the dip levels. They just screw things up. That's probably why they bought the car, because they knew they were at fault. They're like, well, it's the sixth time this year this happened. Yeah,
this guy's good. You're good. I love your animation, man. I love it.
Yeah, I'm just getting started. Anyways, my wife hears me complain about this stuff all the time, so I'm so glad I got to say it on the air.
Okay, cool.
I appreciate it, Tom. Thanks for what you guys do.
All right, Griffin, thank you, man. I get it. Charlie has another question about Airbnb. It was, like I said, it was unfortunate what happened to him. The forced arbitration clause really pisses him off, and he was left stranded, he said, because he couldn't get to the owner. He had left the number home. And they asked him so much information, and he couldn't get access. And I said, if anything, they should use this as what I call my teachable moment, and they should have a PIN number for these similar situations. But anyway, Charlie has one more question. Go ahead, Charlie.
Hi. I was just wanting to give out a website.
Okay, go ahead.
I have just registered hr1423.com. And that may be a little while before that gets to working. But
well, give it
right
again.
Now,
give it again, though. It's
hr1423.com.
Okay, hr2314.com. That's a hard. Yeah, that's a hard one too.
Now, if they try that and it's not working quite yet, because I'm just now building that.
Yeah.
If they put yegg.info/ in front of that and make sure the HR has capital letters, that's already built. That already works. I'm just trying to make it.
You should have tried. You should have tried to get a website like No More Arbitration or Arbitration Clause No or something. I don't know. No ARB for me, or something that would have been more direct that people can remember easier. But okay, he wants you to go to that website to help him in his crusade. He really is pissed off, isn't he? So Steve's got a comment on Yiji's loss where she got that $6,500. Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, listen, I just got a couple of comments there. First of all, every time I fill up with gas, I pop my hood, I check my oil, my windshield washer, antifreeze, whatever it is.
Yeah, people don't do that.
If that plug was okay, that unit is sitting in her driveway or her garage, whatever it is, and if that plug is loose, she's going to have an oil spot.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree.
On her. So are you that naive? You don't see that? You don't say, hey, there's a problem.
Well, the way she put it, it all came out at once.
Well, regardless whether it all came out at once, even if it was loose, it would be dripping.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So Steve brings up a good point, and that is, first of all, check your oil between when you fill up for gas. I don't do it though. Do you do it, Dan? I don't do it.
Maybe once out of 5 times.
But really, he's right. He is right. The other thing is, hey, if you see drops of oil, check them out.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Dan Kaplis today at 4, 630 KHOW, Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Westera Credit Union.
Roadwork slowing things down on westbound 270 on the drive through Commerce City. It's sluggish on that stretch approaching and just past Vasquez, and then it loosens up after that. No other big problems on any of the highways around the metro area right now. Just seeing some of the usual slow spots on the elevated portion of I-70, but everything else looks pretty wide open. Your forecast for today, partly to mostly cloudy this afternoon. A high in the mid-60s will cool off to the low 40s overnight tonight. Cloudy and cooler tomorrow for your Wednesday with some rain showers expected in the afternoon. That rain changes into light snow in the evening with a high tomorrow in the low 50s, and then some scattered snow showers and 33 on Thursday. It's 64 right now in Denver. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Janine LaRose, 630 KHOW.
Westera believes everyone should have the information they need to make good financial decisions. Westera was started by teachers 85 years ago, and they're still committed to helping people learn. Call Westera with your questions or attend a free seminar. Learn more at westeracu.com.
Johnson Construction has a product that is mind-blowing. I talk about them because I love the way they do business. Chase Johnson owns Johnson Construction. And a little later, I'll tell you about that retro foam. But now let me tell you about the hail-proof roof. It's a lifetime warranty, not just against hail, but against failure. This product is amazing. It's made from old tires. It doesn't look like that. Stunning design. But it can recycle up to 1,000 tires for a normal size roof, or an average roof. Virtually indestructible. Insulating and soundproofing qualities as well. And as I said, hail-proof, durable and all-weather, eco-friendly. It's beautiful and adds value to your home. Can you imagine a lifetime warranty? It's EuroShield, and you can get it roofsbyjohnson.com. That's where you can find it. Roofsbyjohnson.com. An incredible video that'll show you it being pelted. Roofsbyjohnson.com, 303-719-ROOF.
So do they have those smart cars downtown anymore? Wait,
I thought they did.
They do, but they're no longer the little embarrassing smart cars to drive. They're all Mercedes now.
No
way. That's what I've heard. Yeah.
Really? They stopped importing smart cars, I think, too.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I haven't seen those little smart cars around.
Yeah,
the daily rental ones are nice now.
So if you jumped on, did that thing, then and you can park anywhere with those.
And then you leave it in the public parking and you're done with it. Yeah.
That's smart understanding.
But that's probably kind of expensive, plus, right?
Oh shit! This Colin viewed my profile.
I mean, it's cheaper than owning a car if you don't drive every day.
Right.
And the other thing I like about Uber is if it's during business hours, I can do this without playing the game of life.
No, I like say where you're at. If you don't go to places, the only thing, like say you rent a car, you rent and take your insurance, right?
When you rent a car, I think you can rent the insurance as well too.
Okay, because the reason I say that, if you have an accident like that, and even though your credit card covers your insurance, loss of use.
There's the key phrase.
Kill you.
Oh, really? You have to pay for the loss.
Kill you.
Yeah, if it's out of service.
I mean,
now you can buy that loss of use rider.
Can you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, just that?
No, you can buy the auto insurance. Plus, you can buy the loss of use rider.
Because just like many credit cards will cover you.
Right. No, they ask you if you want to buy loss of use.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's, I think Tom mentions when he travels with a car, he buys that just
for that reason.
Just for the reason, yeah, because.
And I've never had an accident with one.
No, but if it's out 3 weeks or something, man, that's more than the car rental.
Right.
Lots of use coverage for a rental car.
So when do you get rid of your car?
I'm flying out on Thursday, and then a friend of mine's taking care of it the next week.
What are you talking about?
He's getting rid of a car. He's going to be.
Had a car since I was 16, and I'm gonna. I live next to Union Station. I work next to Union Station.
You know,
pretty
in
much
New
the only
York,
time I
people
ever
do that
drive.
all the time, right? Nothing new.
Right.
And
it's become more common in Denver.
I think that I was just going to say that we were talking about rental cars. We have made a switch not to rent a car at vacations. We almost never rent a car anymore. But as far as living without a car, it's an interesting concept.
Well, it is where he lives.
But car ownership used to be just something for very wealthy people. That, you know, they were the only ones who could afford cars. Now it's kind of flipping around where it's not having a car is kind of a luxury too.
It is.
It's how I see it.
There have to be times though that
I can always rent one for the day for $30 and go anywhere I want.
Can you get an Uber or Lyft almost any time of day?
24 hours a day, 7 days a week when you live downtown.
Well, she gets it.
It's harder when you live out in the suburbs to get Ubers late at night. But when you live downtown.
Where do you live down there?
Platform at Union Station, catty corner to the Whole Foods.
There's people driving all night, 24 hours a day. Plus, if worst comes to worst, you get a cab.
Yeah, you can get that, or I can take the train to the airport if I need to. I mean, that's the only place I need to go at odd hours.
Right now, by Union Station, you're right. You've got good light rail.
Plus, you can always buy one.
I've had the same office on 16th and Wine Coop for the past 6 years. Next week, I'm moving into 17th and Wine Coop. It's gonna be a little bit bigger. I'm so excited.
That's pretty. You're moving?
It's the same parking garage, but instead of being on the 16th and Wine Coop, I'm on 17th and Wine Coop. So.
Plus $108 a month you'd be paying on parking.
$180 a month.
$180. Oh,
$180 a month plus $1,000 a year for insurance, and then just also just the time it takes.
$1,000 for insurance? Way more than that.
$1,000 a year, you're saying?
Maybe it's more than that.
$1,000 a year.
It depends on what you got. Maybe you don't have full coverage.
Yeah, he would have full
coverage. What, you got a fancy car?
Camry.
Hey, Tom Martino here. So we have our common man today, Rich Legur. And Rich Legur is here to talk about his business idea and other things. We just have him come in because he's a longtime listener. So what's your business idea?
For people who live a cash lifestyle, when they decide they want to buy a home, a car, a credit card, they have not built up a credit score.
Right.
But they pay.
Credit is a promise to pay, and it's also an ability to pay, but it is also a willingness to keep on terms and conditions.
Right, or their FICO scores.
So what about it?
So I was thinking to have a business where they could send me proof of, say, their utility bills by cash or their phone bill.
Oh.
I become a reporting agency for them to TransUnion and the credit unions. Therefore, they build a FICO score.
There was someone once that started a company that helped non-reporters become reporters, meaning it was like if you have payments other than the ones that report, if the people you pay don't report, they would help do it. I don't think they're still in business, but it was similar. They didn't confine it to cash. They just said, anytime you make a payment for anything that doesn't appear on your normal credit report, we can go out and verify it.
That's a much better way of putting it. That's what I had in mind.
And you ought to do it because that's a good idea. In other words, it doesn't matter how they pay, right? It may not all be all cash, but it might be you're paying for stuff regularly and that don't report.
Correct.
I mean, most people report. What are some of the things? Landlords may not always report, right?
Right.
What else?
Well, I'd say you pay your Comcast bill at King Soopers. Or you pay your utility bills, Excel bills at a non-reporter.
And you'd have to become some kind of an official reporter. And how would you make money? That's the problem.
My wife and I were talking about this, and by the way, hello, Ribby, is I would charge, say, a subscription fee.
For the consumer.
For the consumer.
Because businesses, certainly, you're going to be reporting to the main credit bureaus.
Yes.
How do you get status? How do you get credibility for the credit reporting agencies to accept your report?
I haven't got much.
I don't know. That's yes, Ugly Ed.
At my apartment complex, we can sign up with our apartment complex. It's $100 a month.
For what?
To get credit for paying our rent. But
you have to pay $100 a month to do that?
No, $100 a year.
Oh,
I think it's a one-time fee to set up the service so that we get credit on our report for paying our rent.
Yeah, and by the way, cash lifestyle. By the way, that's a whole different discussion I don't want to get into. But it's the most stupid thing I've ever heard. And now I know there are people saying, "Oh no, Dave Ramsey said I should pay in cash and never have credit." That's like saying you should never take medicine because some people are addicted to medicine. It's the most ridiculous thing because it's one of the more valuable tools. It really is akin medicine to health as medicine to health as credit to business. You know, I'm not saying you should live on credit or be overly in debt. And he didn't come here anyway to discuss that. Rich is here just to as a common man. And he said, I'd like to start a credit reporting agency for people who have other ways of paying or pay other agencies that don't report to the credit bureau. I understand that. There was really a company, I forget what the name was. This guy had a great idea. He said, if you make payments to a number of people that do not show up on your credit report, if you tell me, and he charged the consumer, I will go out and verify those payments and report it to the credit agencies. Again, I don't know how you set that up. And even if he's still in business, there's nothing wrong with another one. I mean, there's not many people doing this. If you had a really good way of taking every payment a person makes and verifying them and reporting them, so what if they're double reported? It doesn't matter. Because I have said this before. There are many things I pay for and pay on and promise to pay and make payments that never get reported. Anyway, Mark, go ahead. Mark?
You got to be kidding me. So if you pay cash to somebody like your AT&T phone bill, you walk into one of their stores and you pay cash, he wants to report that to the credit bureaus.
Well, the credit bureaus are really, you're right. They're named for credit.
Exactly, because it's not just the ability to pay. If you have cash, you have the ability to pay. What the credit bureau is there for is, can you make a promise payment every month for a long period of time?
I understand, but if you have a cable account or maybe that's or electric account or a landlord, you are making a promise to pay, and sometimes they're not reported. And it may not be technically credit, but it is credit during that month. Well, actually, it isn't. You're paying rent in advance. But I don't know, Mark. What I'm saying is it is a promise to pay, and it just gives a record of your promise to pay.
It sounds like a horrible business model.
Well, I'm not saying he'll make money at it or that anybody would care. I'm just saying that there should be a mechanism for those who don't report to the credit agency.
How would this affect the credit score, for example? So if I go pay cash for something, all of a sudden my credit score goes up because I made a cash payment?
Well, hold on. No, he's not talking about purchases. He's talking about regular commitments, aren't you? Or what?
Yes, XL, Comcast, CenturyLink.
You're talking about regular payments.
Car.
But
yes.
Don't they already report most of those?
Well, that was just my examples, but I guess that gentleman you're talking to about what...
Mark, I don't think he means if you go and buy something and pay for it,
no, not at
that
Walmart.
He reports that you have a good, I'm just thinking that there are commitments to pay things. And what Mark's saying is the name credit agency, credit reporting agencies, you're reporting on credit, use of credit. And really, you're not reporting on use of credit. You would be reporting on promise to pay, reliability,
history of payment.
History.
I guess Tom, my point is, if the guy came to me for a loan, the fact that he pays cash for his phone bill there's nothing there that I could care less about in order to give this guy a loan, or if he wanted to buy a house or anything else.
No, that's true as far as that goes, if you talked about it like that. But what if he bought a car and was making payments on that car, and that dealer was a small used car dealer and didn't report to the agency?
A buy here, pay here.
Well, you can actually report your own payments like that.
Can you?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, but really, can you do it and get credit for it?
Yes, you'll get credit for it. They'll verify it with whatever the business is.
But here's what I want to say. I never said it was going to be a business that would fly off the... I just think it's a valuable service. Do I think he can make a lot of money at this? I think it'd be very difficult. I mean, first of all, there are so few people that would fall into the category of a buy here, pay here, or paying cash, or making payments that aren't reported. And I don't know if the credit reporting agencies, or as Mark says, the lenders would even care. I don't know if lenders would care. But it's better than, I don't know, let's put it this way. I think it's better than nothing if they report that stuff.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by EnviroTest.
It's not going to make a lot of money.
And that's in part why I'm here, is to see if it's worth pursuing.
In other words, what would you pursue? Because here are the obstacles. You have to find, first of all, agencies that will accept your reports.
Right.
Let's say we do that.
Yeah.
Then, how do you get consumers, and how do they sign up? How do customers sign up?
Well, yeah.
Do they say, here, I have, these are all the payments I make on a weekly basis, and then how do you verify them? The fucking legwork involved.
Well, that's why I love all these questions coming up, because
I mean, what would you do? Would you have to call the cable company every month to see if he...
either that or get a receipt.
But wouldn't it be easier just to send
right?
credit?
Okay, guys.
Sure. But in fact, I got the idea from Tom years ago. He said that. But yeah, there's no way for people who.
But in practicality, I'm saying
no, that's what I'm
difficult.
That's why I'm here.
Rocky Mountain Retro Foam is the best insulation you'll find for retro insulation. What I mean is after the house is built or after the house has been around a while. Why? Because I don't know of any other retro insulation that would work like this. This goes in from the outside and it fills every nook and cranny in your wall cavity. That's it. And you can't believe how thorough it is. It stays pliable. You can snake through it in the future if you have to, but because it's pliable, it goes in around every little nook and cranny, the switch boxes, the outlet boxes, and it gives R value that doesn't break down over time. It's environmentally friendly, no outgassing, and it is simply the best. The old insulation is compressed and moved out of the way by this foam. It's environmentally friendly. It is not spray-on that gets hard. It's not part A and part B. It's a spray foam, state-of-the-art, injection foam, state-of-the-art. Foamyourwalls.com will show you exactly what it does. Foamyourwalls.com, 720-676-6333.
Now, when I listen to Dave Ramsey, in fact, that's one of the reasons I quit listening to him.
He's so impractical. It's so stupid.
You cannot rent a car without a credit card.
Right.
You
Hotels.
cannot.
Hotels, a lot of
no,
hotels.
it's just ridiculous.
I don't know why anybody would not want credit. I mean, the only thing is, I would say, if somebody who is a cash payer, if you're taking money under the table.
It's ridiculous. I mean, just the idea is ridiculous.
That's why I want to, in addition to being a common man, why I appreciate all the frankness.
Well,
Tom's right.
On a practical basis,
I
mean, who will pay for it?
Right.
That's the problem.
Yeah, that's what I needed to hear. So I wanted to hear all these different.
On a practical basis, I don't think you can find people that. I don't see where you get paid. I mean, who gives you? Does a consumer do it?
And like you said, it might be buying more of a job than reaping the benefits.
Right. Well, I don't even know. I don't even know if it would buy a job.
Well,
it sounds like a lot of work for you to go back and try to find all these things where they're paying.
Right. Yeah. No.
Then what are they going to pay?
That's why it's
like I say,
valuable feedback.
To me, if a guy's trying to build up his credit, you just get a credit card and just buy stuff.
Well, there are other ways, like
pay it.
The prepaid credit cards and stuff, or the savings accounts. So no, that's why.
Do you know what I used to do before there was credit reporting? Credit reporting was not widespread. I had a resume. I called my credit resume. I'm talking about when I was a kid, a teenager, 18, 19, 20. I had a list of every loan I've ever had, who I made payments to, who you can call to verify it, and their phone number. And it said credit resume of Tom Martino, and people were fucking blown away. I had like so-and-so furniture store, how much I took out, who and how much I paid, and when it was paid off, and the name of the person they could call with their phone number. These people said, this is incredible. Then I remember them saying, we can call now and get a report on this. And I said, okay, but this is for all the ones that don't report. And it sometimes got me over a hump if the actual credit report, they didn't have a FICO back then, they just had reports. It was an incredible idea. It was called a credit resume. I don't think anyone would care about it now, but that's the problem. People just look at a number. They don't care. Do you know that I have a credit monitoring service now, and if I didn't have it, I wouldn't know this. It was given to me free because of some breach.
Yeah.
My credit score changes at least twice a month.
Sure.
Up and down.
Yeah. But not by 10 points either.
And I do nothing.
Right.
Oh no, it is 10 points either way.
Right.
And it's because I charged something that was $4,000. Right. So it took a larger percentage of my credit, or I paid something down, it goes up. Right. I didn't realize how often your credit, how the hell do they keep track of everybody?
Right.
Well,
I mean, it's an algorithm, right?
No, you're right.
But one thing I have learned, amongst the many things from you, is I take my credit card out, instead of paying it off, I stair step it down, so I get the payment history, and I get
sometimes, right?
Yeah. Pay it off.
Yeah.
Well, you can pay it every 30 days, you'll still get it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pay it off. There's too much interest.
Every 30 days. Yeah, I said that when you're building credit, you should do what he said. Once you have credit established, you can pay off every 30 days.
That's the most expensive loan ever.
Oh, yeah.
How the hell do I get subscribed to all these emails? Gosh.
Living without a car, Blake. To write down. You know other people that are doing that downtown?
Yeah, there's a couple people in my building who do the same thing.
It's kind of like when your pipes freeze, everything you want to do is drink water.
Hi, Tom Martino.
I can see clearly.
303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. We got full lines. I'm going to try to get to everybody right now. Okay. So, Betty, what's going on, Betty?
Hey, hi, Tom.
Hi.
Thanks for taking the call.
What's happening?
I love your show.
Thank
I've
you.
listened to you for years and years. But my question, Tom, is I have a very good friend up the street, and she has money in the bank that's going to be going to the rescue for animals, but she wants to give her house that's free and clear, paid off, to a good friend of hers, and she cannot afford an attorney. So what would you
wait a
recommend
minute. She has a house that's free and clear and a bunch of money going to animals?
Well, not a bunch.
How much?
1,000. I would say 3,000-4,000.
Oh, okay. And how much is her house worth?
I would say it's worth about $325,000.
And she cannot afford an attorney to draft a document. How much would
No.
what does she want to benefit? She wants to leave her home to who?
Well, to a friend that was a neighbor. Now, this friend has moved to Grand Junction, and he's become like a son to her.
Okay, that would be a simple beneficiary deed, right?
Sure. And
Blake Harris.
And if it's a very simple process, you can create legal documents yourself. You can go online. There's services that help you. I am going to tell you, though, that I've worked with a lot of families that have tried to save just a little bit of money, and it ends up costing them thousands of dollars more in the long run when they should have just used an attorney.
The friend she wants to give this house to, does he have any money?
He gets by, yes.
What I would say to him is, hey, bud, for like $300, you can have a deed prepared for yourself.
Buy an attorney.
And you buy an attorney.
And that can cover recording costs.
And
too,
yeah,
probably.
and that'll be recording costs and everything, and you get a house for it. You don't think he'd pay that? And if he can't pay that, he shouldn't get the house because he can't afford it.
Hey, Tom, I love that idea. Yes, I bet he would.
Yeah, call Blake Harris. Here, I'm serious. You call Blake Harris, milehighEstatePlanning.com. Just remember that. milehighEstatePlanning.com. 720, give this to her off the air, Dav, 720-924-6171. You say to the guy, look, if you can't pay this to get the house, you're not going to be able to pay the taxes and insurance anyway. You shouldn't get the house. And that's really the truth. Dylan, go ahead. What did you say there is a product out there called Credit Boost? What does it do, Dylan?
Yes, sir. Yeah, so Experian offers it, and it'll go in through your account, your checking account, and it'll look for any product that you have that you pay your bills, like Xfinity.
Really?
Yes. And I just used it, so but it did boost my FICO score about 18 points.
Wow! And what's the name? It's called Credit Boost.
Yeah, but it's not
just
cash.
Experian.
Okay, well, thank you. Let's talk to Mike. Mike, what's going on?
Hey, Tom. I was just wondering about that credit guy.
Yeah.
Those of us who might have gone bankrupt maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
We don't get reported. And I've never missed a payment or anything.
What do you mean you don't get reports?
Well, I mean, my mortgage company does not report.
No, that's only because you're not personally liable for it anymore. You did not affirm it. You kept your home, and you're making your payments. But if you ever walk away from that house, they can't come after you personally. It's already been adjudicated. It's been discharged. So they're not going to give you credit for making a payment on something where you don't have to. I know that sounds crazy, but they won't. Sean, what's happening? Sean.
Hello?
What's going on, sir?
Hey.
Hey.
How's it going, man?
Do you need help? Hey, listen, I know what you're calling about. A lot of apartment places are doing this. They tow their residents because there's not enough parking. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, and they tell us, and when you go in and talk to them about it, they basically tell you to park a mile down the street and walk to your apartment.
Now, here's what I want to do. I would like to get you on tomorrow and see if we can get some help. Here's why. We're running out of time, and I don't want you to run out of time. So, Daphne, find out when he can come back on tomorrow. I'm Tom Martino. Thank you, Rich Common Man, for being here, and Blake Harris, attorney at law, milehighEstatePlanning.com. 720-924-6171. We love having them on board. Hey, by the way, if you guys ever need help, you go to the referral list, referralist.com.